It's good to have you join us at this hour. I'm Daniel Choy here with the latest. The National Assembly is set to be in session again on Monday, but rival parties are in a prolonged deadlock, and that could affect the government's 2015 budget proposal. The parties are battling over a special law aimed at uncovering the truth behind the deadly Sewol-ho ferry disaster. The lawmakers have not processed a single bill since July, with the opposition New Politics Alliance for Democracy staging sit-ins and boycotting all parliamentary proceedings. The 2015 spending bill has to be passed by the end of November, or the government risks starting the year with a provisional budget that funds only the basics and could halt payments to government employees, the elderly, and people in need. Analysts have been expecting the government to boost the 2015 budget, but it looks like the bump will be much lower than expected. Arirang explains why.
A lawmaker from the ruling Saenuri party who has been briefed about the government's budget plan says it's highly likely the government will expand next year's budget by about 5% for a total 373.6 trillion won, or roughly $368.4 billion. Although that sounds like a lot, it's much lower than the 10% bump expected by analysts and the 6% requested by government ministries. The government had previously said it would continue its expansionary macroeconomic policy until the economy gets back on the path to recovery. And it had unveiled a new $40 billion stimulus package back in July to pump up the economy. But according to another Saenuri lawmaker, a major budget expansion has proven difficult given the decline in revenue from the sluggish economy. As part of the plan, similar or overlapping government projects will be merged or abolished to cut costs. However, there will be budget increases. Following the deadly Sewol-ho ferry disaster that left over 300 dead last April, the government plans to increase the national safety budget by 12% to about $13 billion. Yudian, Arirang News.
Speaking of budget and government spendings, Korea is set to kick its fighter jet development project into full gear in September. That's when the government will open the bidding for the $8.3 billion project that won approval last month after a decade-long delay. The project involves building 120 fighter jets to replace the country's aging fleet and producing more jets for exports. While Korea Aerospace Industries, Korea's sole jet producer, is widely expected to win the contract, global companies have been watching the project closely to see who will build the key components and avionics system. In a separate deal, Korea agreed to buy 40 F-35A fighters from Lockheed Martin from the U.S., which will lend technology and know-how to the jet development project. Korea's Fair Trade Commission will launch an investigation into customer complaints of overcharging for car parts used in repairs on imported vehicles. FTC head Dere says the investigation will continue through September and October and follows the Land and Transportation Ministry's order that all auto part prices be disclosed. He said the investigation follows consumer complaints that auto repair costs for imported vehicles are too high and the prices of individual parts unclear. No also announced the FTC has launched an investigation into mobile messenger company Kakao Corporation to look into allegations it abused its market power over smaller companies to expand its business. Now, while developed nations have been trying to reduce household debt levels since the global financial crisis, Korea's household debt is on the rise. Although recent regulatory measures in Korea have helped raise housing prices, they also have the potential to raise debt levels even further. Our Kwon So-ah has this report.
Korea's household debt has not only hit another high, standing at over $1 trillion in the second quarter. The upward trend is the exact opposite of what's happening in developed nations, which have seen their debt levels decline since the 2008 financial crisis due to a focus on lowering debt levels. According to the Bank of Korea, the national debt rose from $714 billion in 2008 to $1 trillion at the end of last year, putting Korea Korea high on the OECD's list of highly indebted nations. Korea's debt has grown by an average of 8.2% per year from 2008 to 2013, while that of countries like Germany and the UK have shrunk by 0.5%. The US saw its debt shrink by 0.7% during the same period, and Japan shrank over 1%. Financial experts say households in developed nations have either filed for bankruptcy or paid off their debt, but that of Korea's household debt threatens to keep rising. The upward trend is attributed to a recent set of measures that relaxed mortgage lending regulations but could spur household loan growth. In addition, the Bank of Korea lowered the interest rate by a quarter percentage point in its August session to 2.25%, which is the first such cut since May 2013. The government believes the pace of household loan growth is not yet cause for alarm, as the new measures have also helped pick up the housing market. But experts like Standard & Poor's analyst Ritesh Maheshwari say the growing debt poses risks to the banking sector as there is more debt than disposable income. Kwon So-ah, Arirang News.
1 week, that's the amount of time the European Union has given Russia to reverse course in Ukraine or face new sanctions. This after Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko urged the EU to take action, warning that time is running out to prevent a full-scale war between his country and Russia. Poroshenko called on the 28-member bloc to fully utilize its economic leverage as Russia's most significant trade partner to achieve this goal. However, the EU remains divided on how to expand sanctions, as several nations fear that stronger measures could spark an open trade war with Russia, which has threatened to retaliate against core European manufacturing industries. Reports that Islamic State militants in Iraq are kidnapping and selling Yazidi women appear to have been confirmed. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said Saturday some 300 women and girls of the Yazidi faith have been abducted and distributed as spoils of war. The Britain-based NGO says at least 27 of the women were taken to Syria, forced to convert and sold into marriage for roughly $1,000 each to the Islamic State militants. The NGO also said some Syrian Arabs and Kurds have tried to buy some of the women to set them free, only to see them sold to IS members. The Yazidi continue to be targeted by Islamic State militants who view their beliefs and practices as blasphemous. Chinese President Xi Jinping has called on the country's military to spur innovation and create a new strategy for information warfare amid a global military revolution. He made the comments during a meeting of the ruling Communist Party's Politburo earlier this week, according to China's state-run Xinhua news agency. He emphasized the need for the military to get with the times as information warfare has become central to modern combat. His remarks come amid an escalation in tensions with the United States on intelligence issues, especially after the U.S. in May prosecuted 5 Chinese military officers for alleged economic espionage. A Japanese official says there is no reason for concern about unauthorized military action in Korea, including emergency landings of U.S.-Japanese forces. The official added that this would never occur whether or not it is written in U.S.-Japan military guidelines. The official statement comes amid rising concerns among Japan's neighbors, particularly Korea and China, about Japan's efforts to exercise its right to collective self-defense. The Japanese government is working on law revisions that would increase the role of its military. Shifting to some lighter stories, an international team of professional wrestlers and mixed martial arts stars put on a show this Sunday in the most unlikely of venues, Pyongyang, North Korea. The event was organized by the legendary Antonio Inoki, a Japanese wrestler turned politician who aims to promote peace through sports. He hopes his efforts will improve ties between his country and the communist regime and ultimately help resolve decades-old cases of abductions of Japanese citizens by North Korea. The show drew big responses from the audience, with some breaking out their cell phones to snap pictures. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un was not in the crowd. Some North Korea experts believe such events could help with mutual understanding, but will not help improve ties between the two countries. A team of local researchers has developed a supercomputer that can help predict diseases like cancer by analyzing vast amounts of genomic data. With access to so much information, researchers also expect that diseases could be diagnosed faster than ever before. Our Kim Min-ji has this story.
This is Maha, a supercomputer developed by Korean researchers. It can analyze genomes to detect whether a person is prone to cancers and other rare diseases with just a drop of blood. And it has been selected to take part in a research at the International Cancer Genome Consortium.
The entire world can access the supercomputer, and it can analyze the data of 500 people at once. Using the information, doctors can publish their findings in international journals.
The Electronics and Telecommunications Research Institute, the maker of Maha, reduced its power consumption by 1/3 and storage space by 1/7 and enhanced its performance 7-fold. And compared to similar foreign products, the time taken to analyze genomes has been shortened by at least 30%. Researchers expect to diagnose all sorts of diseases in less than an hour through the supercomputer's DNA analysis, which could pave the way for a so-called tailored medical generation in the near future.
Such services will be released by 2020 at the earliest, and the prices will go down gradually, so there will be a day of a genome generation.
Local researchers hope the development of supercomputers will eventually get rid of unnecessary treatments or side effects connected to diseases. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.
And now the weather. We have rain in the forecast for Monday in Seoul and the surrounding areas of the nation. And let's take a look at the weather conditions in your neck of the woods and elsewhere around the world. And that's all we could squeeze in at this hour. From all of us here, thank you for staying with us. Have a great start to your week.